Hello, hello, Facebook family. It is me, Shannon Lavriere, and the adorable, so cute you can't stand it, Teddy Lavriere. Teddy's never been on Facebook Live before, at least not intentionally. So, hi, Shawan. Teddy, say hi to Shawan. Say hi, Shawan. Hi, Shawan. Hi, Kara. Welcome. Hi. It's Shannon Lavriere and Teddy here to help you thrive in change. I'm Shannon Lavriere. I am your hostess, and I'm alive and loving it tonight. And Teddy here has been teaching me a lesson. Gosh, he's not going to make me any money in Hollywood. Look at him. All he wants is to go away. Teddy, all those people love you. Look, Shawan says hi. Hi, Eric. This is Ted. Ted has taught me a little bit about scarcity the last few days. Hey, there's Aunt Lynn. She says hi. Say hi, Lynn. Yeah, Teddy has taught me a little bit about the scarcity mindset. Have you ever heard of that term, scarcity mindset? The opposite of scarcity mindset is abundance mindset. We're going to talk a little bit about those two things. But this is what Teddy's been teaching me. Every time Ken and I go up north, we take Teddy with us. We drive about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Oh, hi, Lisa. I'm glad you're here. We have about a 2 hour and 15-minute drive, and we have to stop at every rest area because Teddy wants to pee on all the trees. Every rest area. He can smell them, I think. As soon as we start to approach, he starts getting antsy. He's looking out the window. He cannot wait to take his little 11-pound body and run out there in the dog run and pee on every tree he can find. He thinks that by doing that, they'll be his. He doesn't want any other dog to claim them. He wants his mark all over it. This is the problem. Teddy doesn't live at those rest areas. It's a bunch of fake stuff. He's trying to act like he's big and bad. He has no power there. He has no influence there. All he's got is this driving instinct that tells him that he needs to make sure any other dog that comes this way knows he's big and bad. Does he look big and bad to you? He's not. Go, Teddy. Teddy's going off with his dad. The reason I've been thinking about this is because I've been feeling this way about clients, about opportunities, about goals that I have. I've been feeling recently, lately, this suffocating sensation that there wasn't enough to go around and I needed to hurry and grab mine before it's too late. I need to make sure that everybody in the room knows that I'm the one they want. I've got to prove to people that I'm valuable. I've got to send the message, don't bother to compete with me because I am all over this. I've sort of been feeling like Teddy has been acting. And is so often the case on Sunday Night Live, I'm just going to be honest. I share with you my journey, my challenges, so that you can learn from my journey and maybe you can relate to some of my challenges and relate to some of the ways that I am learning to combat it. So let's talk about scarcity mindsets and abundance mindsets. When I was growing up, I was the oldest of 6 children. My mom was a very generous person, and not just generous at the holidays or, you know, with gifts or sharing whatever food we had in the house or inviting people over for dinner. She was also generous with her love. My mom never worried if anybody, one of our friends, maybe boyfriends, girlfriends, you know, if any of our friends came over and they wanted to treat her like mom, she was fine with that. And she raised us kids to be fine with that too. So she had lots of friends of our family that would call her mom. She would had grandchildren that she adopted, not really, but really. Her heart adopted them. We never minded. We never cared because we knew that the more love there is, the more love there is to go around. And then I met somebody who got very worked up because one of her family friends wanted her child to call her Aunt Sarah. She's like, that's not her aunt. That's my friend. That's not her aunt. She shouldn't be calling her Aunt Sarah. That is a special title. And she was so worried about it. It was almost as if she was afraid that there wouldn't be enough to go around if her little child called somebody Aunt Sarah if they weren't really an aunt. I mean, what about all the other aunts? The ones who were real? Would they be offended? This idea that love is a pie, and when you cut it up, if you have to share it with more people, all the pieces get smaller. It's BS. It's a bogus story. It's a belief system that doesn't work. And it's not only true with love, it's also true in life. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how scarcity shows up in my life and how abundance shows up in my life. And hopefully you're going to gain something from it. I would love to see your comments. Susan, I'm so glad you jumped on. There's a couple other folks that popped in. I didn't get to say hi, but I'm so glad you're here. If you've got something to share that you've learned about scarcity or abundance, I'd love to hear it. We'd love to talk about it, so feel free to pop it in. So the first thing is scarcity and competition go hand in hand. Scarcity and competition go hand in hand. And I am not a competitive person. I'm not wired to be a competitive person. And I don't think competition is wrong, but I think some competition can lend itself to a scarcity mindset. And so if you're a competitive person, not competitive to just reach a goal, but competitive to like hog it all up, that's a scarcity mindset. We used to get Little Debbie snacks. Okay, who's the oatmeal cream pie lovers on the show here? And then who are the fudge brownies with the nuts, right? Little Debbie's, the two best ever. There were only so many Little Debbies in the box, and when they got home, my mom gave us each our allotment, and if we ate them all in one day, so be it. And if we wanted to stretch them out, that was good. We had oatmeal cream pies when no one else did, but there was a limited amount. Life isn't like that. We used to compete to see who could get to the cabinet first to hog the most, who could eat the most the fastest. I don't know if you ever did that if you grew up in a big family. Who could eat the most mashed potatoes the fastest to make sure nobody else got them, even if you didn't want any more mashed potatoes? We carry those kind of mindsets. And that's certainly what Teddy's doing. I'm going to claim this entire rest area for my own, and it's not his. Doesn't matter what he says. But we get into that mode of, I've got to hurry and race to the top because if I don't get there first, someone else will get it before me. And that can work in a track meet. It doesn't work really well when we're talking about our career or our goals or our personal ambitions or our families. It doesn't work. The opposite of that is abundance. It's collaboration. That when 2 people are involved, 3 people are involved, 4 people are involved, instead of them making the pie smaller, each one of those people brings something to the table. It's more like a potluck dinner instead of the Bobo family racing to the cabinet to get as much food as they could before the brother or sister grabbed it first. Scarcity says, I need to take all I can and I need to take it now because it won't be there later. And abundance says, the more people, the better, because we're each going to bring something to it. And we each bring something different. So I've been trying a lot of networking groups because I'm looking for opportunities to connect with people that I can serve with what I do. I help people to thrive and change. I equip managers and leaders to help their teams be successful and change. So I want to naturally network with people who need that because that's what I have to give. But I also am coming across other people who don't do what I do at all. And yet there's this thing inside of me that says, I need to get to that new person first. I need to get them my business card. I need this pressure and this rushing as if I had to go grab it from someone else. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is the truth. Nobody does what you do the way you do it as well as you do it. When you're in your strength zone, you are in a place of abundance. So what I had to do was look at myself and say, why am I feeling the pressure as if this is a race and I have to beat somebody? Why am I feeling the pressure that I've got to grab what's mine when it isn't really? When what I really believe is that we each bring something unique and valuable, and we each have a place where we belong and people that we were designed to serve who will naturally gravitate to us. That's the difference between scarcity and abundance. Abundance says we all have something unique to bring and to give, and it's valuable. And I had to ask myself, why am I feeling this pressure? Why am I feeling this scarcity? And frankly, I don't know the why. All I can tell you is the what. I saw it show up, and I felt the pressure, and I reflected on it, and I've made a choice. I want to work with people. I want to treat people like they're bringing something valuable to the table too. I don't ever want to be in a wrestling match, an arm wrestling match with somebody. May the best man win. I don't want to be that person, because I truly believe, especially going into the new way that we work, the new requirements of the new marketplace that says everybody can do it the cheapest. I mean, you can keep that race to the bottom going forever, but if you've got something valuable, people will be willing to connect with you to get it. That's what people value, that abundance piece. Not the, I've got to mark it down, I've got to do it faster, it's not that I don't want to be better at things, I just don't have to do it faster and beat somebody else to the punch. I need to be the best person I can be. So that's what I've become aware of. If you've got any tips about that, I'm open. I would love for you to share them, because this is a mindset that I've come across more than once, and I make an intentional effort to shift it, but I would love to know, what are your techniques for dealing with that pressure that comes with, I want to beat somebody else to the punch. I want to grab that client before somebody else gets them. I hate that feeling. I hate it, because this is what I see happens. When I am feeling that pressure, when I'm feeling this competition instead of this collaboration, I start hoarding things. I hoard my best gifts. I try to hide them so that my competitors won't steal them. They won't see how I do it. They won't see what I do. They won't try and sing the next time they do a training. I don't want them to. That's my thing. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. And this is what I'm discovering. Other people don't like me feeling that way either. Nobody likes to be in an atmosphere where somebody's feeling like they have to jump over hoops to beat someone else to the punch and hide their best from other people just in case those people will steal it. I want to be able to freely share what I have to give. I really do. And I'm being honest with you today. So don't judge me. Join me. I don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling like I have to hoard my good stuff, because it's not true. And I know it's not true. I choose to believe that it's better to share. Conscious choice. I start hoarding my story. I have a story. It's a powerful, powerful story. It's the story that birthed the Support Life Thrive and Change principles that are foundational to what I teach people. People who are dealing with end-of-life issues, people who are dealing with major career transitions, with relationship changes, with major health concerns. These principles were born in a really, really powerful story. And this scarcity mindset has kind of infiltrated the way I was thinking. I've left it behind soon as I became aware of it, but I did notice, oh my gosh, this isn't good. Hey, Giselle, I'm glad you're here. I've missed you. So what I discovered was this. I have this beautiful story that inspired me, changed my life, allowed me to crystallize some really, really powerful principles that can change people's lives. And I've been avoiding telling it because it wasn't good enough. Hey, Shay. Shay says Gemma and I are late signing on and you'll turn in later. All right, Shay, I love you. And hello, Gemma. What a cutie. Gemma is the doll. All right, so just being honest here. This is what happens when we're in a scarcity mindset. We start getting afraid to share what we have. We're afraid that if we give some of it away, it will be gone. I have been thinking, I can't tell that story. I can't write that story down. I can't do a blog on that story because that story is so important and so life-changing that I need it to be perfect before I get out there. I'm going to hoard it. Turns out that my beautiful story that inspired me, changed my life, gave me a new framework for looking at change, especially in really, really tough times. That story doesn't lose any power when I tell it. It gains power. It's not the pie when you divide it into pieces and pass it out that it gets smaller. It's the potluck dinner that when you start sharing, other people bring theirs and they share too, and it gets better. I don't know what you're hoarding. Are you hoarding a story? Do you have something that you know is important and it could change people, but you're holding on to it because you're afraid somebody will steal your good idea? Are you afraid that somebody will take it and then you won't have it anymore? I want you to know, nobody can take your idea. It's yours. It's your idea. And you can share your idea generously. I can share mine generously. And know that when I'm aligning myself with the right people, those people are going to bring more to the table. They're not going to take away my idea. They're going to add to it. And I just want to encourage you, if you're in an office situation where there's a lot of fighting, where people are arguing over who gets the staples, who's got the chair by the window, who's got the best view, all of that stuff, that piddly stuff, I want to encourage you, there's plenty to go around. There's plenty of good attitude to go around. There's plenty of joy to go around. And if it starts with you and you share it, you are going to have an abundance of that joy and that generosity in your life instead of the scarcity that is so difficult to work under. It feels like a weight when we're hoarding, carrying our best stuff, making sure nobody gets it. It's mine. No, we can share it. All right, so that's one of the things about hoarding. We hoard our story. We get afraid that we're going to blow it and then our chance is gone. Hi, Jim. I'm glad you're here. We get in this mindset, a scarcity mindset that says, I've got to keep what's mine because I'll never get any more. It's just not true. It's just not true. There is plenty out there. And as I'm going through this journey, this journey of me growing and learning. Oh, Eric, I love this. Winners are givers. That's the truth. That's the truth. Being selfish is no way to get ahead, and we also get what we give, right? So I love the BNI slogan, givers gain, similar to this, winners are givers. Absolutely true. We cannot hoard, and we cannot look at our lives with a scarcity mindset. Another reason, another way that scarcity has been showing up in my life is I'm not shipping. And by shipping, I mean taking my product, my good idea, my story, the change I want to see happen in the world, and getting it out there for other people to enjoy, to get benefit from, and to use, and to be able to thrive and do well. So I've got a million ideas. I'm the only one who gets them. They're mine. They're unique to me. And yet I hold back and don't send them out there. I don't ship them. What are you not shipping? What are you not shipping? I knew somebody once that used to buy gifts for people. And she would put a lot of thought into it. And then she would put them in her garage and she would never give them. She just couldn't do it. She was generous enough to think about the person. She was generous enough to make the effort to go out and intentionally pick a gift that was going to be lovely and spend the money on it. And then when it came time to ship it, she held back. She held back. It was scarcity all of a sudden. Ooh, I don't know if I should share that. Maybe I should keep it. And I've never forgotten that picture because I don't want that to be my habit. I don't want it to be a habit for me to have a good idea, to have a generous thought, and instead of acting on it and giving, to just keep it close to me, not shipping it. Just keep it here. All that good that we're able to do does nothing if we hold it close. The stories that changed our lives that we don't tell do nothing if we hoard them and keep them close. Their impact is when they are shared. The opposite of scarcity is abundance. Love is abundant. Generosity is abundant. Giving is abundant. I love those phrases. I choose those phrases. I am not going to buckle under the pressure to feel competitive. I'm not going to. And I encourage you to consider how being competitive is affecting you in your job, in your life, at your church. All right. When we have a scarcity mindset, when I have a scarcity mindset, what I find is in a professional realm, I start to not connect with others. I start to not connect with them because I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if I connect with them, they're going to get all my good stuff. I'm afraid that if I connect with them, I am going to somehow be discovered and they're going to take the good stuff that I have. Come on. Doesn't make sense, but it's what we do. When we are in a scarcity mindset, we think that we have to be the only one at the top and we have to kick people down if they're climbing the mountain to try and join us. The opposite of what great leaders do, certainly. But it's the opposite of, oh, Shawan, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's the opposite of abundance. I want abundance. I want abundance in my life, my professional life. We get territorial. Thinking about Teddy, right? Getting all territorial at every rest stop between here and West Branch, Michigan. Come on. These aren't your people. Just because you were the first one to hand them a business card doesn't make them yours. It doesn't. It doesn't make them mine. Letting an abundance mindset take hold of us where we say, these are not my people. I am their fill in the blank. I am their coach. I am their trainer. I am their realtor. I am their hairdresser. Whatever it is, they're not my client. I am theirs. What a difference. I'm sharing. I'm giving. I don't want to race to hand my business card to everybody so that I've somehow tagged them. Mine, 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 mine. Like Teddy at a rest area. No thanks. Having a scarcity mindset professionally leads to negativity. It leads to negativity. And I know in my life, when that scarcity starts to come in, I start feeling inexplicably very negative about what I have to offer. For some reason, when I am feeling threatened that somebody's going to take the business that I think is mine, what I'm really saying is, I don't have enough confidence in myself. I don't have enough confidence in what I do, what I offer, to actually stand up and own it. Right? People who are confident in what they have to offer and what they have to give don't have to worry about somebody else taking it because they know they're unique. You're unique. I'm unique. Hey, Rose, I'm glad you're here. And it's okay that you're late. That's what's beautiful. These things get taped. We're talking about a scarcity mindset versus an abundance mindset. So when we're in a professional setting, that scarcity mindset shows up as negativity. But when we're in abundance mindset, when I'm feeling like, oh yeah, there's so much out there, there's so much business, there's so many people, even churches fall into this, where we feel like in churches that that's my saint, that's my member. We forget that God is big and he's abundant and he's everywhere and he can never be diminished, right? Hi, Dawn, I'm glad you're here. So even in, churches are in a way a professional setting. If you're in leadership, it doesn't matter what profession you're in. You can be in the PTA and be a mom and feel that competition, that scarcity, that negative tension that happens when people feel like, I don't know if I've got enough of what it takes, and I'm afraid they're going to take what's mine, and I want that spot, and before you know it, there's all this tension. No, thank you. All right, this is the opposite of that. When we have an abundance mindset, we are all co-laborers for good, even if we're in the same field. Think about a book. Think about books and where they sell best. Books sell best in bookstores. If you were to randomly go to Home Depot and there is a romance novel sitting there next to the screwdrivers, how many of those do you think are going to sell? Not very many. Not very many. Why? Because people didn't go to Home Depot looking for a romance novel, right? But if you put that same romance novel in a bookstore with other romance novels, they're going to sell like hotcakes. Why? Because when people go to the bookstore, they are looking for books. I'm a leadership coach. I'm going to get more business standing arm in arm with my fellow leadership coaches, with my fellow mentors, with my fellow trainers. I will get far more business standing arm in arm with them than I will going to the Detroit Zoo and holding up a sign saying, I'm a leadership coach, and passing out my business cards. That's what abundance says. Abundance says that these people who are like me are not a threat. We are co-laborers in the same field, and this field is big enough for everybody. That, my friends, might be the best thing I've said since this thing started. I'm going to say it again. Instead of looking at the people who do what we do and saying, they're my competition, I don't want anything to do with them, an abundance mindset says, these are my co-laborers, and we are in the same field, and this world is big enough for all of us. For all of us. The last time I checked, Shawan Burns could not install blinds for 6 billion people in the world. Budget blinds, no matter how big it gets, will never be able to serve 6 billion or 7 billion people in the world. She just can't, no matter how big. Shawan Burns needs help. She needs other laborers in other fields across the world that are able to do something similar to what she does, but never just exactly like what she does. Right, Shawan? You are unique. I am unique. No matter what you do, you are unique. That abundance mindset says there is room for all of us because there are plenty of people who need what we do. Right? Right. And Dawn, I am so glad to see you. Thank you for being here. All right. So we can think like this. We can get all caught up in, there's not enough, I've got to hoard it, I've got to grab it. Or we can take a deep breath, let it out, and say, okay, I've got this. I know what I can do. I know who I can serve. I'm in competition with nobody but myself. And that competition is, I want to be better. I want to love more. I want to give more fully. I want to be more generous. I want to be more flexible, more resilient. I want to be a better listener. I want to feel like the people that I'm serving are understood and that they know that they've got exactly the person they need. And if I'm not that person, Hi, Mike. I'm so glad you jumped on. If I'm not that person, I want to have the abundance mindset that says, that's okay. That person over there can help you. I hope that you've gained something tonight from this confessional, if you will, of my struggle with scarcity versus abundance. It's my deepest desire to always think in abundance, to always give with abundance, to always look at the people that I serve with as my co-laborers and not as my competition. I don't always make it, but being aware of it makes it far more likely. And I hope that you've given some thought and will this coming week as we launch into Monday. I hope that you give some thought to the difference between scarcity and abundance, and how does that show up in the way that you serve your family, the way you serve at your work, the way you serve your employees, or the way you serve your employers, your customers. I really appreciate you taking your time to join me here. It's been a pleasure talking with you on tonight's Sunday Night Live. If you've enjoyed this, you can go to my YouTube channel. Just search for Shannon Love Revere on YouTube. It'll pop up. We got 20, 25 videos there that will help you to thrive in change. I love you all, mwah, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Goodbye.